Fuad here, back on Viper Sport.
And me, Marshall, from the Combat Hour.
We're here to talk about some topics today, some more combat situations, and it's a very interesting topic, so make sure to stick around for the whole of the video. And also, as soon as you've done watching it, make sure to leave a comment down below and let us know your opinion on this situation. So Marshall, do you want to just break down what we're going to actually be talking about today?
Okay, so what we're going to be discussing is the UFC Jacksonville main event from last night. What happened was you had Anthony Lionheart-Smith taking on Glover Teixeira in a light heavyweight bout. Lionheart was looking great early, and then everything just kind of fell apart for him, and he started getting dominated. And what we're going to really break down is why did his corner not stop the fight?
Okay, so this situation can be talked about many a times because we've had so many situations in combat sport altogether, not just in MMA, not just in boxing, where these topics have risen to the top of the conversation because it's a matter of life and death. It's not, oh yeah, we're going to stop it, because it is literally a matter of life and death, but it's also a matter of this person's been working so hard to get to the pinnacle of the game. And we've seen so many times in sport, in combat sport, when you think a fighter is getting beat up and then one shot changes the entire fight. But yesterday, for sure, we saw many situations where Smith just didn't look like he was going to pull that out of the bag. He complained about his teeth falling out. He was bruised up. You think the fight should have been stopped earlier?
Absolutely. I think the only reason that fight wasn't stopped is because the UFC hasn't had a Patrick Day or a Maxim Dedishev situation. If that was the case, there's no way, absolutely no way this fight wouldn't have been stopped, because that was one of the worst beatings I've seen in the UFC ever. Like, he was at that point where it was getting close. It was getting sketchy. It was like, is he going to make it out of this? Is he going to be the same? I don't know. Like, it was bad. It was getting very dangerous for him in there.
It was really interesting as well because his opponent was telling him, I'm sorry, it's part of the game. Like, I think he even knew, like, he was getting him beat up so bad. And Smith just turned around and went, it is what it is. Like, it was just taking the beating, like, with both hands. Like, come on, give it to me. It was weird. But let's think about it. If you were in that situation, Marshall, where you had a fighter and you seen him day in, day out in the gym, committed to his craft, literally leaving no stone unturned, and he talks about it day in, day out, like this is his ultimate goal. He wants to become ultimate fighting champion. Do you understand how hard it is for a coach to stop that fight?
I don't care how hard it is. I would rather him be upset with me than not be able to not be upset with me because he's not here anymore.
That makes a very good point.
It was getting to the point where, I'm telling you, it was almost at that point where it was like, he might not be the same after this, if he gets out of it at all. He was this close. He was a couple shots away from that fight. Just, I didn't like where it was headed.
It was, you know what, though? It's one of those things as well, like when Patrick Day passed away in boxing, and what's the other geezer's name?
Maxim
in the corner.
Dedishev.
Yeah, that one especially. Patrick Davies was very unfortunate because it wasn't like a build up to it. It was a good fight. He was losing. He did get knocked down, but that knockout, just, you can't help that it happened. You wouldn't have thought to stop the fight prior to that. But the other fight we were talking about, they were thinking about stopping it in the corner like a round or two before, I think. Oh, no, sorry. They said when they stopped it, they said, I'm going to stop this fight.
Buddy McGirt stopped the fight.
He stopped it. So it's those situations that really put fans... I got put off. As you guys will know, I am a massive boxing fan. I break it down. I do all the videos for it, more so than MMA, but that made me fall out all over the sport. And I'm sure if that, God forbid, if that ever happened in the sport of MMA, a lot of fans will become very disheartened and, wouldn't want to watch the fights for a few weeks or so.
Man, there was a point when he was backed up against the fence and had nothing left to give, and all you hear is these geezers in the corner yelling, throw the jab!
Throw the
Use
jab!
Your jab!
Throw the jab!
Are you serious? You think that a world-class former title challenger doesn't understand that his jab was doing good for him early? Of course he knows that. Throwing a jab isn't going to bring back the energy. It's not just going to come back to him, okay? He's not Goku going to summon a fucking ball of energy coming down to him. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. So tell me, when do you think, give me a scenario, when do you think it's okay for the towel to be thrown in? Certain amount of knockdowns, the certain level of getting beat. What does a fighter have to show to you to say, all right, I'm throwing the towel?
I think you have to look at verbal cues. A real championship quality fighter is never going to come out and say, I can't go back out there. So you got to listen closely. Like when last night, Smith came back to his corner and he goes, yeah, my teeth are falling out. Okay? At that point, it's time to go home. End the night. We're good. Live to fight another day. Because the guy just looked at him like, oh, those chiclets? Oh, nobody cares. Trident gum? No. Those are your teeth, bro. They're not supposed to be on the mat.
Yeah. Well, I think it's fair enough to say, I completely agree with you. I think if you're going to become a coach, I think one trait you have to learn more than anything else is not how to tell a fighter to throw a jab, not how to tell him to adapt. Of course, those are the most important things in the aspect of the sport. But humanity-wise, you have to be able to tell a fighter, no, this is enough. I am calling it. I am in charge. You're not in charge. You are the fighter. You are the one going out there. But I'm the one seeing this from another perspective, and I care about you. You have to have that mentality. If you don't, you shouldn't even be licensed, you know? If you show in one fight, if you show that you let a fighter get too hurt, it's on your hands. You need to be the one who's banned for a certain amount of time, because you need to learn that, okay, I need to know when to stop a fight. Just like a referee is criticized. Did he stop it too early? Did he stop it too late? The coach should be in the same factor, I think. Don't you agree?
I completely agree. They're in there to protect the fighter from themselves. Just like the ref is there to protect the fighter from himself. They're your last line of defense. If I can't protect myself, you have to be willing to protect me for me.
Yeah. You're the other half of the fighter, essentially. You're telling him what to do. You're training him. You're the one building him. He's the fighter, of course, but you are the backbone almost. A coach is the backbone to any fighter. Okay, so let's just wrap this up. The last thing I want to say is a huge respect to Anthony Smith. What he showed last night was incredible. The level of heart, and this goes out to every fighter. Win, lose, draw, whatever you've done, you guys are just different animals, different breed. You won't stop. You don't quit. And you know, when fighters do quote unquote quit, I never say they quit, because you don't know what they're feeling. For example, when Kell Brook took a knee against Errol Spence Jr., that was not him quitting. If anything, if he did it 4 rounds prior when his eye originally went, then you have an argument, but you still shouldn't say you quit, because he still fought on, and he knows better than you. He's the one fighting in there against another monster, and he's thinking, you know what, I don't want to go blind. Why am I going to go blind for these 30,000 people? Fuck that, I'm taking a knee. You know, I've shown what I had to show.
Completely agree. In conclusion, Anthony Smith is too tough for his own good, much like Tony Ferguson was 4 days before. But that being said, the difference between those two fights are I saw a lot of people comparing them. Anthony could not fight back. There was moments when Tony was getting hurt, but he would always fire back and land a shot. It was a big difference. Anthony was being mauled against the fence. Different situation. They're not comparable. Anthony's beating was way worse and might be... It's going to be tough to see how he bounces back from that.
Just a touch though, I know you say the Tony Ferguson was a different one, but we'd never seen the way Tony Ferguson, like, he was just not there, man. Some of those shots he was taking, and even look how it finished. He was nodding his head like that, but he still wanted to carry on. Like, he wasn't there. And again, those are little things coaches should be aware of and referees should be aware of. But there you have it, guys. Make sure to let us know in the comment section below. If you're watching this on the Combat Hour, if you're watching this on Vibe Sport, make sure to let us know what you guys think of this situation, and what you think of the Smith stoppage. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channels, and we'll catch you soon.